everybody, it's Lon Simon, and it's time for your weekly wrap-up. And we had a fun week this week. Our Parrot BeBop drone finally got back from repair, so I was finally able to do a review on it, which kind of bums me out because I like to get this stuff early and get those reviews up as quick as I can. But unfortunately, the first one had a major problem, so they repaired it and got it back to me. I heard from some other folks who had some issues also. I think the first round of these things are a little problematic, but the company was great. They didn't give me a hard time. They took it back and sent me another one. Just took a while to get it. So that review is up. You can see some test footage, really cool stuff. We got an 11-inch Chromebook in from Dell that's kind of ruggedized. A pretty neat little device there. And some other stuff too. So check it out at Lon.TV. You can get my full YouTube channel page and scroll through everything. If you're on my email list, you can sign up at Lon.TV/email. I push out an email probably every 2 weeks or so. I don't like to overload you, which has a list of everything that I've done over the last couple weeks. So check that out in case you missed something, because I do put up a lot of content. So if you skip YouTube for a couple days, you may have missed something kind of scrolling through the list. So we've got some cool stuff coming up this week, though. Derek DeVille, he is a solid rocket motor enthusiast. So what better place to send Derek than over to Utah to watch NASA test their solid rocket booster for the new Space Launch System. This is the largest solid rocket booster ever made. It is designed to take the Orion space capsule and hurl it to the moon. And they were testing it on the ground this week. So Derek went out there, put his GoPro about 25 feet away from the nozzle, as you can see in that photo over there, and it melted his GoPro. But we got the footage off of it, so you can check all of that out when I upload the video interview shortly. And a lot of you saw it live, too. So whenever I do these interviews, I often schedule a live event on my YouTube channel. So we took some viewer questions, too, and it was a lot of fun. And Derek's a cool guy. He is an amateur rocket guy, too. So he's made rockets that have gone into space or pretty much got to the edge of the atmosphere, and he's done some really, really cool stuff. So we talked to him about all of that as well. And I put all of the interviews in audio form up onto a podcast that I set up as well. So if you don't really want to sit in front of your computer screen and watch a 45-minute long interview, you can go over to the iTunes, or actually I think I'm on most of the pod tracking applications as well. So pretty much anywhere you can find a podcast, you can find my interviews. And I really want to get more viewership on these things. I just don't get a lot of viewers on them. And I guess it's because they're kind of long, so the audio version might be a little bit easier to take, because you can put it on and walk around or do whatever, drive with it or whatever that you couldn't do with the YouTube video. But I'm really trying to get more viewership on these. We've interviewed some cool people. The engineer of the Mars rover. We interviewed the CEO of Sega from the 90s, who was responsible for the Sega Genesis, and a whole bunch of other stuff too. I really love doing these interviews, and I hope more of you can check them out. I also have all the video interviews at Lon.TV/interviews. So this week we've got some more stuff to look at. We've got the new tablet from Lenovo that you can use your pen or a pencil or even a fork or a knife to write on. It's got this really cool screen technology called AnyPen. So we'll check that out. There is no malware on this Lenovo tablet. Don't worry, they took everything off of it. They're completely clean slates now, so you'll see some of that in the video review as well. We also have a little device from iMation. It's a storage device and battery pack all in one unit. And it only works with the iPhone, though. Sorry, Android folks. But it's just plugs in with a wire here, and you can charge your phone and also use this as external storage. This one's a 32 gigabyte version, so we'll be looking at that. Those two reviews I've already shot, and they're ready to go. The next one I'm going to do probably tomorrow night, shoot it tomorrow night, probably go up later in the week, is my NAS 101 about just kind of the very, very basics of what network attached storage is all about, because I continue to get questions from people who I think are buying these things not really knowing what they're getting into. So I think for a lot of you folks who are subscribers, you clearly know what you're doing with this stuff, but a lot of folks don't. And I want to get the word out about these things, because I think people really need to understand the context of network attached storage and what you can and can't do with it under different circumstances. So it's going to be a pretty nice thing with kind of like a little PowerPoint with graphics and everything. It looks pretty cool. So we'll be working on that tomorrow night and get that going. I also got one of these things in. This is an Odroid, and this is kind of like a Raspberry Pi alternative, and it's I think it's similar in processing power, I might be mistaken, to the new Raspberry Pi 2. At least it's in that ballpark for its processor, but this can run Android, which the Raspberry Pi really can't do at the moment. It also has the ability to pop off these little eMMC cards on the bottom for storage. So you get a little bit better storage performance, more options for storage, and it also takes the SD cards as well, and it's got gigabit Ethernet too. So we're going to be putting this thing through its paces and I think it's a neat little alternative to the Raspberry Pi, and there's a community building up around this as well, an international community too. So, and it costs about the same, by the way, too. So we'll get into it in a little bit more detail later in the week. I'd love to get some suggestions of things you want me to try out on it. It does have its own version of Ubuntu also. So I'll save it for the full review when we get to it. If you want to help the channel, you can. You can go to Lon.TV/Patreon. That is a monthly contribution system. You can also contribute one time via fan funding on my YouTube page at Lon.TV. All of those dollars go into helping me run the channel. I do buy a lot of the things that I review on the channel, and I often resell those items at a loss. So when I do that, this fund helps kind of offset that a little bit. So if you have suggestions for things you'd like for me to purchase, even if you don't contribute, I'm always ears for that, because I'm always looking for new things that really haven't been reviewed all that much. And a lot of times, many manufacturers just don't have loaner units to send out, so I'll buy it, review it, and resell it. So definitely leave me some suggestions below. If there's anything else that you'd like to talk to me about, please always leave those comments below. We also have the forums now at Lon.TV/forums. And I know a lot of you are having some trouble with it, so if you still are having trouble getting your username set up, definitely send me an email to lon@lon.tv, and I'll see what I can do to troubleshoot. I'm trying to just get all the kinks worked out over the course of the week too. So lots going on, always having fun, and I really greatly appreciate your viewership and all of your suggestions and comments. This is Lon Seidman. Thanks for watching.